Hi, everybody. Guess what? Ron's here. Miserable liberals here. My hair's a little crazy today. My hair's a little crazy. All right.
Howdy, everybody.
Come back. A little crazy hair. All right. So you remember when Nancy Pelosi said this, right? She was asked about the Democrats have been wiped out. They lost over 1,000 seats in the state houses across the country since Barack Obama was president. They've lost the House of Representatives. They've lost the Senate. And now the White House to Donna Tanahan's game show host, Trump. So people are like, hey, you guys are completely wiped out as a party, and then you lost to Trump on top of it. Maybe we need a new direction?
The Democratic Party is in a moment of questioning about its identity. You were reelected to lead the Democrats in the House. What do you tell Democrats who want a new direction? And then go to you, what are you going to do differently?
Well, I don't think that people want a new direction.
What is it? Is it your values?
Values unify us.
Yeah, it's your values. Your values unify us. Yeah. What is it? Also your values that lose elections? Because that's all you do. So guess what? I heard someone else the other day say that it would be wrong for us to try to get rid of Nancy Pelosi now. A real wonky guy who considers himself a real wonk, said, "Oh, wouldn't make any sense. Wouldn't make any sense." I couldn't understand exactly what he was saying, but here's a guy who's a congressman who thinks that we should get rid of Nancy Pelosi. He's a goddamn congressman, and he's a Democrat. It's not personal against Leader Pelosi. It's just reality. Tim Ryan. He sees that she is the reason why we lose in red states. Because they tie the Republican, whoever they're running against, they tie that person not to Barack Obama, but to Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi's super unpopular. Why? Because she's horrible. She's unpopular with me. Here's from ABC News. ABC News, in that article, they say, if you can't get elected, you can't govern. This is what Tim Ryan says. If you can't get elected, you can't govern. And Nancy Pelosi is poison for people trying to get elected in the country. It's just that simple, Ryan said. He argued that the Democrats have strayed from issues that got them elected in the past. No kidding. So now here's a potential leader in the Democratic Party who also is recognizing the thing we've been screaming about for a year, if not longer. It's funny how a jagoff YouTube comedian can fucking be ahead of these politicians. Isn't it weird, Steph?
Yes, I just have to say I have a little problem with Democrats have strayed from issues. How about they don't support their own platform?
Yeah, I actually kind of disagree with that, too, because I'll say when people defend Pelosi, the general defense they give is, first of all, they talk about her fundraising ability. Well, Bernie Sanders proved that model might be going out the window, and I cannot wait till it does.
Yep.
Also, they talk about how good she was in the midterms in 2006. Well, George Bush was so immensely unpopular, a stale ham sandwich would have taken the midterms in 2006.
No kidding.
Which also proves to me and says to me that the only card in Nancy Pelosi's deck is saying, hey, we're not that guy.
That's right.
It worked in 2006 with Bush, but it has not worked with Trump, and it's not going to ever work with Trump. It's just not going to work anymore, period. So if that's all she has, she's not a good leader. It's that simple.
After a decade, she should change?
Call me a radical, Steph.
Radical.
The contentious Russian investigation, for example, this is according to Tim Ryan, is, quote, just disconnected from what normal people and average people are going through. It's so weird. It's almost like we have been saying that for months on end here at this show, and we've been shamed and mocked at every corner of the media, including online news shows. We've been saying that forever. Now the guy who's next in line to be leader of the Democrats in Congress is saying it too. He can go, go ahead, take what we've been saying. That's what we want you to do. Just do it a little quicker next time. Isn't that funny? How is it that a bunch of jagoffs on YouTube get this right, but everybody else got it wrong? Tom Perez gets it wrong. Hillary Clinton gets it wrong. Debbie Wasserman Fuchs gets it wrong. Donna Cheater Brazil gets it wrong. Isn't it weird they all get it wrong? But we got it right. Everybody at every news station got it wrong. Rachel Maddow, Chris Hayes gets it wrong. Isn't that weird? Because you can turn on fucking Rachel Maddow tonight. It's going to be Russia 24/7. Isn't that weird? Huh. I wonder why we're able to see through that bullshit, and people like Rachel Maddow, oh, maybe it's because I'm not getting $30,000 a day to think a certain way. Oh, I bet that's it. And I'm telling you right now, if someone gave me $30,000 a day like Rachel Maddow, I would be a jackass like she is too. I would get rid of my integrity, and I would just say whatever the fuck they wanted. And I would even try to push for a war like she's doing.
$30,000 a day gives you a lot of times to do as much mental gymnastics as you need.
Rachel Maddow gets up and looks around her liberal penthouse apartment in Manhattan. I'm going to guess she has a window on each side of her apartment. I mean, you know what I mean? Like you can see from one side of the... She's loaded, baby. She's part of them. She's friends with Roger Ailes.
You mean the genius?
The genius. Ryan lists... So Tim Ryan, what does he think they should be talking about? He lists home ownership, health care, and price of energy as key issues his party should focus on.
How about jobs? How about jobs?
Well,
you can't own anything without jobs. There is no jobs program, and the only jobs program that America has right now is war. That's it.
Isn't that amazing that there's still no fucking jobs program, and they don't even talk about a jobs program?
Jill Stein talked about a jobs program.
Yes, she had a Green New Deal.
Can we? I was going to say, can we substitute the price of energy for new energy? Can we just put the word new in there instead? I think I'd like it significantly better.
Paul Ryan goes on, not Paul Ryan. Tim Ryan goes out and says Pelosi stands in the way. Pelosi stands in the way of the party's goal of flipping control of the House back in their favor for the first time since 2010. Pelosi stands in the way. That's so weird. I just heard a freaking Jagoff podcast the other day say it would be crazy to do that. That's so weird. That's the guy stuck next in line to be leader.
How?
Steny Hoyer is technically, but this is the guy.
How completely indoctrinated are you that you can see all the facts in front of you, see who's president, and then say, yeah, Pelosi needs to stay. She's our only hope.
Well, you're either dumb, right? You're either dumb, or you're speaking emotionally and not from your intellect, or you're paid to think that way.
Okay.
Right? There you go.
Or you're focused on some one dimension, whether it be fundraising or whatever else. I mean, you're not seeing the big picture.
I mean, if it comes down to fundraising, we can all just talk about Bernie Sanders. Obviously, there's a better model because he meets the need of regular people. And they're too insulated, and they want to go out with other millionaires, and they want to go to happy hours, and they want to go ahead to each other's Christmas parties, no matter which war criminal attends that Christmas party. They're all there.
Tim Ryan goes on and says, it's not personal against Leader Pelosi. It's just reality. Admitting later his belief that Pelosi's leadership, ready for this? Get ready for this. This is the last sentence. Pelosi's leadership, quote, provides a good, solid impediment to taking back the majority. A good, solid impediment. She is a solid impediment to Democratic progress. Nancy Pelosi. That's Tim Ryan saying that. That's not me. That's not Julian Assange. That's not Jill Stein. That's Tim Ryan, guy who looks like he'll probably be the next leader for the Democrats if Pelosi does the honorable thing and step down.
Start calling her office, everybody. Ask her to step down.
In this week's Georgia and South Carolina special elections, Republicans ran ads that targeted Nancy Pelosi.
Oh.
Ryan believes those ads were instrumental in the Republicans' victories. So if you notice, this is also from a Republican operative who just got done beating John Ossoff. He says if Pelosi ever retired, we'd be in a lot of trouble. So I've said this before on the show. Nancy Pelosi and Debbie Wasserman Schultz both know they're repulsive to most of the country. Yet they won't stop going on TV, and Nancy won't step down, even though she knows she's hurting the party. She knows that she's an albatross around the congressmen's, people who are running for Congress's neck. She is an albatross. She is easily beatable. And that's what they do. They tie Nancy Pelosi to whoever they're running to, and she's done. If she cared about the party, she would resign herself, but she doesn't. She doesn't. She's like all crazy politicians. She's a narcissist who's in it for herself. She's worth $100 million frickin' dollars. And by the way, she got that while she was in office. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? She's worth $100 million. Look when it really kicked in, when her money really kicked in. It was 2008. So we had a big financial crash, and then bam, her money really bam. So the upper 1% of the 1% is what really kicked ass in the recovery. She's one of them. She's fucking one of them. You see how much money she made? $110 million. That top line is $110 million. That's the top line. The top line.
Yeah, I'm so glad people are protecting Nancy Pelosi from stepping down. I'm so glad they're so worried that Nancy Pelosi...
Yeah. Poor Nancy, huh? That's what you mean?
Yeah, poor Nancy.
She's the sixth richest person in the House with an estimated net worth of $101 million. I don't think she cares about health care. I don't think she worries about anything that is money related. She only worries about power now to feed her ego.
I know something she should be worried about, though. She should be worried about how fun retirement is.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And if you have that kind of money, it can be even cooler. The world's big, Nancy. I'm sure you have not seen all of it. Go take a trip, write a book. Just, scoot out of the way.
So Nancy Pelosi's phone number...
415-556-4862.
That number again.
415-556-4862.
I urge you to call her and say that you are a citizen of the United States and you would like to see the liberals take over again. I mean, the progressives, not the liberals. Say Democrats. Just say that. So I'd like to see the Democrats take over. Would Nancy please consider resigning? What's her number?
415-556-4862. That's 415-556-4862.
Just say, hey, I'm concerned about the Democratic Party. I listen to what Tim Ryan says. I think Nancy should step down. I just want to let you guys know that's what I think. I'm calling right after I'm done with this.
I'm going to call and recommend a bunch of vacation destinations. I'm going to use that psychology.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I'm not going to try to touch the ego. I'm just going to be like, what's really cool this time of year? Italy, you got to go. You can talk about voters if you want.
Yeah, you can go over. Hey, Nancy.
Say what you want. I don't care.
Nancy, why don't you go to Italy and tell them how shitty the American voters are, like Barack Obama did. So there you go. Look, they're finally coming around to our point of view. Isn't that nice? So I should just go back and watch whatever we were talking about a year ago, and then, or whatever we're talking about now in a year, the Democrats will be saying. Hopefully. Hey, the next live Jimmy Dore show is July 17th. That's right, July 17th. That's a Monday in Burbank, California. Get your tickets right down here or go to jimmydorecomedy.com. July 17th, Burbank, California, live Jimmy Dore show.